Hello, everyone. Today is Friday of Holy Week. It's become known as Good Friday, and I am working from home today. And I asked my 2-year-old Jubilee to come in and help me with this video. What I want to do today is read the story of the death of Christ to you from the Jesus Storybook Bible. My family and I, we've been through 3 of these. Here's the rest of it. And we're rough on books. We use books all the time, especially this one. And I've been a dad for over 11 years. And this is the 3rd one we've been through. It's about time to replace it. But our custom is most mornings after breakfast, we read the Bible together. And sometimes we read, a Bible like this. And then sometimes we read a kid's Bible like this. But it's been a rich experience for us to do this together as a family. So today, I want to read this to you, and I ask that you would reflect on the death of Jesus with me. Let us get a little bit closer. So you're a king, are you? The Roman soldiers jeered. Then you'll need a crown and a robe. They gave Jesus a crown made out of thorns, and put a purple robe on him, and pretended to bow down to him. Your Majesty, they said. Then they whipped him and spat on him. They didn't understand that this was the Prince of Life, the King of heaven and earth, who had come to rescue them. The soldiers made him a sign, our King, and nailed it to a wooden cross. They walked up a hill outside the city. Jesus carried the cross on his back. Jesus had never done anything wrong, but they were going to kill him the way criminals were killed. They nailed Jesus to the cross. Father, forgive them, Jesus gasped. They don't understand what they're doing. You say you've come to rescue us, people shouted, but you can't even rescue yourself. But they were wrong. Jesus could have rescued himself. A legion of angels would have flown to his side if he'd called. If you were really the Son of God, you could just climb down off that cross, they said. And of course they were right. Jesus could have just climbed down. Actually, he could have just said a word and made it all stop, like when he healed that little girl and stilled the storm and fed 5,000 people. Don't touch it, sweetie. Thank you. But Jesus stayed. You see, they didn't understand. It wasn't the nails that kept Jesus there. It was love. Papa, Jesus cried, frantically searching the sky. Papa, where are you? Don't leave me.
Don't leave me.
And for the first time and the last, when he spoke, nothing happened. Just a horrible, endless silence. God didn't answer. He turned away from his boy. Tears rolled down Jesus' face, the face of the one who would wipe every tear from every eye. Even though it was midday, a dreadful darkness covered the face of the world. The sun could not shine. The earth trembled and quaked. The great mountains shook. Rocks split in two until it seemed that the whole world would break. That creation itself would tear apart. The full force of the storm of God's fierce anger at sin was coming down on his own Son instead of his people. It was the only way God could destroy sin. Then Jesus shouted out in a loud voice, "It is finished." And it was. He had done it. Jesus had rescued the whole world. That's right, he has done it. That's good news. Father, Jesus cried, I give you my life. And with a great sigh, he let himself die. Strange clouds and shadows filled the sky, purple, orange, and black, like a bruise. Jesus' friends gently carried Jesus. They laid Jesus in a new tomb carved out of rock. How could Jesus die? What had gone wrong? What did it mean? They didn't know anything anymore, except they did know their hearts were breaking. That's the end of Jesus, the leaders said. But just to be sure, they sent strong soldiers to guard the tomb. They hauled a huge stone in front of the door to the tomb so that no one could get in or out. And that is what happened on Friday. At breakfast this morning, we were thinking about Good Fridays of our past. And my wife recalled that one of our older children became a Christian on Good Friday. That year we had a Good Friday service planned at church in the evening, but quite a few of my family members were sick. So I was well. I was planning to go lead the service, and my wife and children were going to stay home. Well, before I went, we had our own little Good Friday service at home, and we read the scripture, and we probably read it out of this book. And one of my children started asking questions, and this child was around 3 or 4 at the time. Quiet down a little bit, sweetie. Quiet down. But this child was 3 or 4 at the time, and this child was a very mean child. And this child started answering questions, and we explained what the death of Christ accomplished, that because of Christ's death, we can be forgiven. We can be made new. God can change us by wiping away our sin. And Jesus did all that was needed for that to happen when he was on the cross. And I saw in my child, this incredible change that took place that night. And then some more change took place in a conversation we had Saturday morning. And my child understood what the death of Christ did for her. And she's never, ever been the same. I want you to know that because of Christ's death, you can be forgiven. I want you to know that he takes sinners who are his enemies, who are guilty and condemned criminals, and he sets us free, and he declares us righteous. He makes us not guilty, and he changes everything. And I want to invite you to become a Christian today if you do not know God. And I also want to invite you to stick with us over the weekend. Join us Sunday on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page, and we will be declaring the good news of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Also tonight, Friday, we are going to be joining Fresh Start Church in Florida online. I'll be sending links to that later, and we will be joining them for their Good Friday service tonight. I believe it's going to be posted at 3 o'clock. May God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Bye.